say that on here.
It just sounds so dark. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 6 of the Danger Toast podcast.
Where Tyler is still sick.
Yeah,
3 weeks straight.
We usually do cold opens, but this is a professional open because I'm still sick, and Dan thought it'd be fun to have a challenge to make me not sick no more.
Yeah. So just as a quick heads up, if you haven't watched our previous 2 episodes, we are recording all of these in one day. Yes, our clothes have changed, but that's because we thought it'd be funny.
And I'm progressively getting sicker as my meds wear off.
Right. I just gave him some new medicine, and I went and I ran home, and I got some shin noodle soup. Now, let me tell you something, guys. If you haven't had this, it's spicy. All right. And it's so good. It's delicious.
So we're going to do a challenge.
Yeah. We're going to do a challenge. So we're going to cook it up. We're going to get it nice and hot. All right.
And we're going to see who can get through their cup first.
Yeah. Now we're gonna do all the noodles and all that stuff and slurping down the juice.
Drink it. It's gotta go. This bowl has to be empty.
Okay, I agree. I concur with that because that's how I eat myself.
Now, are we racing or are we just gonna casually talk and eat at the same time? And
well, I feel like a race is way more of a challenge.
Oh, gosh.
Whereas if we're just holding soup and eating it while I'm really worried about us getting soup juice on our microphones.
So question, are there actually mushrooms in this or is that just for picture?
Okay, so I think there's small itty bit. I hate mushrooms and I finish everything that's inside here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
The first thing, so let's open up our soup. I don't know why we have to do this step. I guess it's in case you don't want the spiciness.
Oh, it's ramen.
Yeah. It's,
okay.
Yeah. And so get this is your soup mix. All right. You put it on. This is
why our podcast setup needs to be inside of a kitchen, so we can just do this.
Listen, in the future, we'll be in a kitchen. When
Don't say that. You don't know how far into the future that's going to be.
Well, it's going to be in the future.
It's fair.
So
Can I just snort this packet? Maybe that'll make me feel better.
That'll clear you up. It might kill you, but it'll clear you up.
I don't think it would kill me.
No, it probably wouldn't kill you, but you would not be having a good time. So I just put it in there, and then I give it a little shaky shake.
Oh, shoot.
And then that way it gets all
You're
nice.
a professional at this. I'm screwing up.
I eat these things all the time, dude. I love them.
So we give a little shaky shake.
Yeah, a little shakey shake. And then
these are fun episodes, especially because we recorded the first episode. I felt really good.
Yeah, you did.
Episode 5. The medicine was wearing off.
Yeah, from the beginning of episode 5, which was only supposed to be a half an hour episode, it's going to end up being somewhere between 50 minutes to an hour and 10 once I'm done editing. Which, hey, the time, you guys don't care. It's right here. Bing. Anyways. Yeah, but at the beginning you felt good, and by the end of it, you were feeling sick.
Yeah.
We had to take 2 breaks in that episode for you to go blow your nose, and yeah. So that's why.
Oh, and at this point, Thanksgiving has already happened. We're about 2 weeks ahead of Thanksgiving now.
Yep. Yeah. So hopefully you guys had a good Thanksgiving. Tell us how it was in the comments. In fact, Tyler and I will go on our personal accounts and we'll post in our comments how our Thanksgiving was.
Yeah.
Because, we're curious. We're still going to be recording through. We're just trying to get ahead. Yeah. Unfortunately, our last episode that we recorded got destroyed. Not really our last, but the one that we recorded last week. Original episode 4 got destroyed by incompetence on my part.
Yeah.
By the demons.
Yep.
And
ghosts of this building.
Erica was like, "Do you think it was the demons?"
Oh Lord.
I'm like, I don't know, maybe. Could be. Probably not. It was probably just me. But yeah, so that's why we're here 2 days before episode 4 goes up, recording episode 4, 5, and 6. But I want to have us get far enough ahead that like I can really edit.
And we get a week off.
Yeah, so like right here, I'm going to put a little fancy little doodad right here that would have taken just a little too long for me to do before. But now we don't get 2 weeks off.
No, I said a week off.
Oh, we get a week off, yeah.
Okay.
Let's go make our soup and then come back for the challenge.
Okay.
Say that.
We are ready to go. We
just
even
cooked.
We even added some chili powder and some onions for flavor.
Onions for flavor.
But chili powder for flavor and a little bit extra spice. It's not like it adds that much spice.
Yeah.
So are we going to do the eat and talk, or are we going to make it as fast as possible? I say we do as fast as possible.
Then I'll lose. Not a fast eater.
I'm not a fast eater either.
Is this just a mukbang with just 1 cup of soup?
No, it's 2 cups of soup.
2 cups, but I'm not eating your cup.
2 cups and 2 boys. Wait, 2 boys, 2 cups. That's what it's called. That's what this.
So you want to race? But
yeah.
you're crazy with food, dude. You'll finish like so fast before me.
I will. So, okay, fine. Then we have to lay out something else. This is a challenge.
I know.
What happens to the loser? What's the punishment? Okay, you know what? How about this?
Podcast for a week.
Wow, what a way to get a vacation. How about this? It's a prize. So the winner gets showered with praise by the other person for 1 minute.
Okay, I can do that.
All right.
Yeah, I can manage that.
All right. So here we go. We're going to start this. You might win still.
Are we going now? When you
No. Hold on.
3, 2, 1.
I get the stuff off the sides, get all that seasoning off the sides, mix it on in there.
Oh, jeez.
All right, you ready?
No.
It's temperature-wise very hot and it's spicy. So,
I don't want to burn my mouth.
well,
Oh, God. Oh, my gosh.
don't burn your mouth.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, my Lord. Oh, I'm so sorry.
You threw it on my bag.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
There's things here.
I'm so sorry.
All right, we ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, begin! Oh, it's so hot. All right, normally when I'm eating this, I pull up a big clump and I blow. And we can do it however we want. You maybe can handle heat better than I can.
No.
So they used to sell these in like packs, like the plastic packs. I love those because I would make like 2 to 3 of them. Oh my gosh. I'd make like 2 to 3 of them and I'd make them so spicy.
So hot. Tissue.
So these are insanely spicy.
It's not spicy hot. It was temperature hot.
No, but that spice will hit you over time. Trust me.
I know. My nose is already running from it.
Perfect. That's what we want since you're all sicky.
I spit juice all over the microphone.
That's the one thing I didn't want to happen. That's why I'm angling myself away. I gotta make sure I add intense music to this segment.
Oh, shoot.
I had a clump of spice hit the back of my throat. Holy crap.
I hope this is interesting content.
Or entertaining. Or interesting.
That's what I meant.
Either one works. I'll time lapse some of this. Don't you worry. You got a noodle dangling off the back end. You better get that in there.
I keep spitting. Stop making me laugh. You keep making me spit it. This is how you're gonna win.
Eating noodles.
You keep making me spit it back out.
Eating hot noodles while laughing is dangerous. Don't try this at home, apparently. I didn't know we needed a warning for this.
I'm so wet. Ow, my nose. Oh, no. I'm so wet.
Oh, no. I had spice juice come back up through my nose.
My face.
Oh, my eyes are watering.
My face is just soaking.
Oh.
Stop! I thought I swallowed that.
That's like a movie quote. I thought you were dead. You're supposed to be dead.
Everything I keep swallowing comes back out. You're almost done.
Let me see. Let me
I
see
keep
yours.
spitting mine back in.
Oh my gosh, I am compared to you.
I guess I'm going to be showering you with praises.
Yeah, that's right, you are.
That's going to be very hard to do.
No, it's not. I'm a pretty great guy.
My phone's ringing.
Your phone's ringing.
Oh gosh.
I'll take a small break while you look at it.
It's Citibank.
Oh, screw Citibank.
They always want money from me.
All right.
You won. Do I have to give you praises while I finish? You cheated.
How'd I cheat?
You made me laugh. It all came back out. I swear, everything I was swallowing was just coming right back out in my throat.
I just realized. Oh, that's disgusting.
What?
I just for the people at home, it's empty.
Ugh.
I just wiped my mouth with the same thing I blew my nose with. Oh. Oh, is that my water? Oh, that is my water. Heckin' yeah, dog.
Okay, you already won. I gotta take a second.
Oh my gosh. You have so much left.
Dan.
To be fair, I can breathe through my nose while eating. You can't.
I can't.
We did this for you, Tyler.
I thought we were gonna be enjoyable.
Well, you can enjoy the other half.
I'm going to.
All right, so yes.
You don't got all over here.
All right, go ahead, inspect my microphone. I got no soup on my microphone.
I don't either. I was kidding.
Okay.
I was a little drippage, but well,
All right, Tyler, I won.
the inflammation in my eyes have gone away.
Yeah. I'm telling you, that soup will clear you up. My lips are very tingly.
Yeah, I know. It's not just dripping into my bowl.
And you know what? I love that soup. So I'm trying to think. It's like I think I bought it in an 8-pack, and I bought 2 of them. That's how much I eat them. Costco.
Where'd you get it?
Costco.
Where'd you get it? Sam's Club?
Yeah, so they used to sell the black, which is the higher end version. It's a little spicier too. And it was the black packets. And I love those, man. I make 2 to 3 of them at a time when I'm sick. And I just fill them full of black pepper, some curry powder, cracked black pepper, might I add.
It tastes really good.
Yeah. It's a super yummy soup. Been eating
Sponsor us. I want some of it.
I've been eating that stuff for years. Yeah, Shin Noodle Company. Who makes it?
Shin Noodle Company.
Is that really who it is? Oh, you know what? This is manufactured and distributed by Nongshim America Inc. out of California. It's Nongshim is the company that makes it. Nongshim, sponsor us. We'll do mukbangs for you on our Patreon.
We'll try all your products.
Yep, every single product you have, we'll mukbang it. Which, by the way, I don't know what language mukbang. If that's an actual word, it would be a Asian word for sure. But
there's so many tissues over here, and it's not even for me snotting. It's just for me wiping my face. Oh, I gotta drink the juice still.
Drink the juice, dog.
That stuff kicks butt.
Yeah.
Only 470 calories.
Nope.
Woo!
Down it. Chug, chug, chug.
Why is it spicy? Why is it spicy?
There's still some noodle left in there.
So as soon as that hits 7, we're going to start a timer up here. And that's when you're going to shower me with praise.
Okay. I hope that was enjoyable content
I hope so too.
because all y'all saw was me spitting out a lot back into my bowl.
I proved how big of a big boy I am. Just
Well, mine was temperature hot.
yours was about as hot as mine. I checked.
You dipped your finger in it?
No, I held the outsides.
That don't count. Oh, gosh. My mouth hurts now.
I would have taken yours
It's distracted me from...
from all the sinus issues.
My eyes are clear, though. The
Yeah.
puffiness has gone away.
How does your forehead feel?
Really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and plus I also give you that medicine. So the combination of all that together. Yeah.
I'm so drugged.
47. Go.
Danny, you are a beautiful soul.
It's true.
You're a good friend of mine.
I try.
You are handsome.
Thank
Smell
you.
nice.
Thank you.
Your facial hair is full. Your eyes are pretty.
Yeah.
Your eyebrows are on fleek.
Are they?
Your eyelashes are just the peak length.
It's true. It's what what ladies aim for.
I miss your man bun.
I'll get it back.
It was a good look for you. Your tattoos are good. Your editing skills are peak profession. Perfection.
There we go.
Your clothing style could use some work, but that's not what we're talking about. Your teeth are straight-ish.
Yeah, they're pretty straight.
I'm sure you're a great kisser.
I am. Just ask my mom.
You are a nice height besides your mom.
I said, just ask my mom. But go on. One more. We've hit a minute. One more. One more.
Just want to distract from what you said.
I'm sorry, Mom. I didn't.
You did a lot of work for this set, and it's nice.
Thank you. All right, perfect. There we go.
Woo! We found out that Dan's mom thinks he's a good kisser.
So
Sorry, Mr.
when I said that, I was not saying it to be like, oh, I make out with my mom. I would say it like kisses on the cheek. I was trying to be like a sweet thing, and then
you did not.
No, it didn't come off that way. It came off very weird and creepy. Ooh. So yeah, that was anyways, thanks, buddy. Yeah. Now, what percentage of that did you mean?
Next.
All right, thanks. Moving on.
So, we have a sad thing to admit on this podcast. We are without the ladies for the last 3 episodes.
Well, this episode included, but yeah.
That's what I said for this episode, the last 2,
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
We are ladyless. We are single men. And
They're working right now.
We have managed to not get ourselves in trouble because we don't have jobs. We're losers.
That's right.
They're the breadwinners.
That's right. Till this takes off, then we'll be the real men.
But technically, I'm on vacation, so
Well, with my work, I have so much free time.
yeah.
I just make
But you work
bank.
You work all day tomorrow, though.
Yeah,
Tuesday.
I work all day tomorrow. That's why when we're done here, I'm going to go home and edit.
Yeah.
After I get PJ from school, she's going to grandpa's, and I'm going to edit.
Let us know in the comments if you miss our ladies' voices.
Yeah,
I miss our ladies' voices.
I do too.
My lady specifically.
Thanks.
Well, it sounds weird if I said I
miss both of their
Erica
voices.
whispering in my ear holes.
Yeah, okay, that's fair.
It's been very boring without them.
Wow.
You're not good company. You suck. Just kidding. You've taken good care of me today. I've been very sick, and you've nourished me back to
I
health.
brought you coffee. I brought you medicine and soup.
You really just wanted to bribe me so that way I'd come in sick. Can we just talk about how I fell asleep driving here? I drove here with my eyes closed.
The whole way.
Partial.
So funny enough, I used to do that. Kind of. I have fallen asleep while driving, but like on a path that was so muscle memory that I was fine. But I would do red light naps. So I would lean forward, aim my head towards the light. So like the red light would shine through my eyelids and I would just fall asleep briefly. And I would just tell my brain, when it turns green, wake up. And it worked.
What?
So
hold on. What traffic lights are that bright that it shines through your eyelids?
The ones in my hometown.
Is this during the day included?
No. This is nighttime.
Oh, I was about to say, like, how in the world?
No. There's no way you could do that during the day. But at
I was
night.
very confused.
Yeah, no. So something I've done for a long time is I've practiced the power of the brain, because your body gets on a time schedule, and you can like the power that we have to control things in our body and everything is insane. So I used to run tests. Like I'd fall asleep thinking, wake up at 5:17, wake up at 5:17, wake up at 5:17. I would just think that until I passed out. And then every single time I would wake up right at that specific time, 5:17 is the example I'm using. But I highly suggest you try that. Especially if you have an issue waking up. Now, if you go to bed way too late and you're like, I need to sleep for 2 hours for my nighttime, that's not going to work. But if you get a good night's sleep, usually I get 4 to 6 hours, which for me, that's all I truly need. And I tell myself, wake up let's be honest, I wake up anytime from 3 a.m. to 5 a.m. So, yeah.
Here lately, I've been going to bed at like 8:30. And the last 2 days I've been going to bed. So I just came back from a trip with a bunch of youth students, and I got no sleep. If you know youth kids, they're up all throughout the night. So we were up till 3, 4, 5 a.m. Saturday night I get back home, and I tried to play Xbox, and I failed miserably. I went to bed. I told Rachel, I was like, I'm going to bed. I get to the bedroom. It's 8:30. My head hits that pillow.
Yep.
I don't remember what happened next. Next thing I remember, I woke up to my alarm so I can get ready.
Yeah. How many hours a night do you get?
I typically go to bed like midnight, wake up at like 6. So 6 hours.
Okay. Yeah, that's pretty good. I was going to say, it's very rare. You're one of the only people, besides my mom, you're the only person I know for a fact, if I message you in the morning, I'll get a message usually back before 8 a.m.
Yeah.
The reason I wake up so early is that's when I'm most productive.
Yeah.
I wake up, I do a small amount of gaming to wake my brain up. I poop. I do my morning poops. And I do some gaming while I'm pooping. Mm-hmm. And then after that, it's productivity time. And I usually I'm working on something for like 2 hours. I stop, do a little gaming break, make some coffee. And then at that time, it's usually about 7 o'clock. I'm drinking my coffee and back to productivity. Mm-hmm. I get so much done in the mornings.
Yeah, you always text me and ask me questions. I always respond.
Yeah.
Or if I'll respond in like 30 minutes or whatever.
Yeah, I'm always surprised. Because that's one thing I hate doing is texting people early, because I'm always like, what if it wakes them up? Mm-mm. But then I have to remind myself, if somebody's asleep, a text message isn't going to wake them up.
No. And you can just bank that I'm always going to be awake, unless I'm sick, like I have been currently, and I've just been sleeping in. Other than this morning, I was up at 6 this morning. I still felt like awful. I started having this new routine where I use a saline-like solution. Mm-hmm. I use a little tube thing that shoots out. The problem is for the first time, I was so backed up that nothing came out. It just like flooded my brain and then my throat. And I was like, yeah, okay, I got to fix this.
So Erica really, 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 really wanted me to get a neti pot. So I ended up getting a neti pot somewhat recently. I can't stand the feeling of it. Something you have to get used to. Do you know what they are?
Yeah.
So, I hate the feeling of it, but it does clear me up more than I am just naturally.
Yeah, so for me, it's this little blue bottle. It's got this little white thing that comes at like a 45-degree angle. Stick it in your nose.
Yeah. The nose douche.
You press this button on the top, and then it goes up into your brain.
Yep.
It goes back down.
Yep.
Just neti pot's the same thing. It goes. You tilt your head, you pour it, and it pours back out. But
Yeah. Yeah. So recently I had a super severe sinus infection before we started recording the podcast. I had a crazy bad sinus infection, a very severe ear infection in both ears. And I learned about the middle ear infection, which I technically still have. What a middle ear infection does is it hurts, but it makes the bone behind your ear swell up because it's like a honeycomb bone, and then it fills up and it hurts and it's massive and it's called I forget the name. It's like mellitus or something like that. But so I was sick. We got her and I had a day date of going to Walmart, and I spent like $100 on eardrops, those big burning things you put in your ear and it sucks all the wax up, getting the neti pot and all that kind of stuff. Those eardrops did not clear out my ears. In fact, they went in. I actually know this because I have real bad ears. I'm lucky I haven't replaced my tubes yet. My dad had to replace them when he was 13, or put tubes in because I guess not replacing. But yeah, they went in and my hearing went, like, I already have bad hearing, and it went from like 50% in this ear down to like 20, and like 75% in this ear down to like 20. So I was deaf as deaf can be for days.
hopefully by episode 7,
I'm sure you won't be
feel
sick.
better.
You're going to be full of turkey and mashed potatoes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For us, we would be. Everybody else has already had theirs.
Well, yeah.
The world of videoing and podcast and YouTube, it's all just,
It gets confusing
yeah.
and convoluted.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
yeah.
Anything else you want to talk? That was a fun one.
This was a fun one. This is going to be a shorter one, too, so,
Yeah.
which is okay. Let us know what you think. I know this was a very we'll call this one the shortcast, because I think this might even be below half an hour. I don't know.
Probably.
But we love you guys. Make sure you hit subscribe and you click the like button. Leave a comment. Do all that stuff.
Stay dangerous, folks.
Stay toasty, my friends.
Bye-bye.
Bye.